In this video, we are going to talk about sets, which is also an inbuilt data type in Python. Earlier, we have talked about lists and dictionaries and tuples. Those were also inbuilt data types, and we saw what are the differences between them, and we explored some of the basic implementations in Python. Let us look at sets. Again, the set is similar to lists and tuples, but there are some major differences that we need to keep in mind. The first thing is that it has only unique elements, contains only unique elements. This is the main thing that we need to keep in mind about sets. Contains only unique elements. Okay. Second thing is that it is unordered. There's no order in this. And the third thing is that it is mutable. These are the three main things that we need to keep in mind about sets. And let me get some notes for you. Okay. So here I've just written down some key characteristics of sets. Unordered. So there is no guarantee of maintaining insertion order. Insertion order is something that I talked about when I was discussing dictionary, but here there is no guarantee of maintaining insertion order also. So there is no order at all, and it contains only unique elements. So if there are any duplicates or multiple occurrences of the same element, then that will be taken care of. Mutable. So elements can be added or removed, but the set itself cannot contain mutable elements. So the elements in the set has to be tuple or numbers or strings like that. Okay. And it supports set operations. So mostly whenever we come across sets, we will be using union, intersection, difference, those kind of things. So we'll discuss about sets and some of the common operations, and then we'll see a few use cases of where sets are used. Okay. And then towards the end, we'll also summarize all the four data types and what are the commonalities and what are the differences between them. So if you want to create a set, first of all, we can create a set like this, curly braces, just like dictionaries, but instead of key value pairs, I'll just say 1 2 3 and maybe 2 5 6 1. Okay. So this is a set. Let me call it my set. If I look at my set now, you will see few things. First is that there are some duplicate elements here. For example, 2 has come 2 times when I was trying to make the set, but when the set got created, 2 has appeared only once. So the duplicate items were taken care of. Second thing to notice is that the order has been changed. 1 was also appearing 2 times. Here 1 has come only 1 time, and the set is also sorted. That is also something you need to notice. Okay. If you want to create an empty set, I can just write like this. If you try to create an empty set like this won't work because this will create an empty dictionary. If you remember the syntax for creating empty dictionary. So this is how you create an empty dictionary. If you want to create an empty set, this is how you create it. You can also create a set from a list. Okay. So if I have a list 4, 5, 6, 4, 1, 2, 8, 6. Okay. So this also you can create a list from even a list, or for that matter you can create a set from a tuple also. And all these data structures, they can actually be interchanged within themselves. I'll leave that as an activity for you. So let us try to see some more um, let us try to see some other operations that we can do on sets. So for example, checking the membership, let me create a set. Let me create a friends set. Okay. So if I have Rohan and I have Mohan, sorry. Okay. And I can create a set out of this. So let me create set friends, and I can create, say, set of friends. And if I look at set of friends, you'll see, let me add one more element here, maybe just to show you that duplicate elements will be removed. Okay. So if I want to add something to this, or if before that, let me just check membership. So I want to check Rohan in set friends. Okay. So this is checking membership. It says true. And if I ask Amit in set friends, it is going to give me false. So it is telling me whether a element is present in that set or not. And any element from a set, that is not possible. You can only check whether that element is there in it or not, but you cannot access it. For example, you cannot say that give me the first element in the set or give me the last element in a set, because in a set there is no sense of order at all. And but they are mutable, so we can add elements to a set. So let us do that. Let me say set friends dot add, and I want to add Amit, which is possible. So now if I do set friends, you can see Amit has been added. And we can also update. So update method we had discussed when we were talking about dictionaries. When we have two dictionaries and we are trying to merge them, we use the update method. So here also it's the same story. If I have set of friends, okay, and if I have one more set which is my set, and if I want to join both of them, I can simply do my set dot update. And now if I look at my set, you'll see I have all the elements of my set and then all the elements of set friends. So this is how we can join or merge two sets. Okay, and we can also remove something from a set. So if I have my set and if I want to remove a element, it's pretty intuitive. You see that these are the methods we are already familiar with. So I'll quickly just show you. See, I've done a remove Mohan and Mohan has been removed. If you try to remove something that is not there in the set, suppose if I try to remove Ramesh, what will happen? It will give me a key error because this element is not there in this set. Okay, so that is there. We can also use discard actually. In fact, let us just take a look at what are the methods that are available for a set. So let me do my set. You see, these are the things that are available. So we have seen add. Clear, you already know what clear does. We have difference update. Okay, this we will see in a while. We have discard. Okay, so what happens in discard is that if you try to remove something that is not there already, instead of throwing an error, it does not do anything. Okay, it does not do anything. So that is the need for, that is the use for discard. And then we have intersection. So intersection is basically common items between two sets. Okay, we'll see that in a while. Intersection update is subset pop. We have pop again. Let me see what happens when we do pop. Okay, pop, if we do, we need to provide, say for example, if we do pop, it is removing from the beginning. So actually it is not supposed to have any kind of order, but just for pop I think it removes in ascending order. It sorts everything in ascending order and it removes it. Usually we'll not use pop along with sets, etc. Remove we have already seen. Union update we have already seen. Union, let us see what is it, what is union, difference and intersection. Okay, so let me create two lists. Set operations, let me write here set operations. So within set operations, let us look at union, intersection and difference. So union means combination of two sets. Intersection means uh, what is common between them, and difference means the elements which is there in list A but not there in list B. Okay, so we'll see using some examples. Suppose if I create two lists here, two sets here, and if I want to do a union, I can do A union B. So this is called as a pipe operator. This is called as a pipe operator. This is also called as A or B, or we can say A union B. Okay, so I need to remove this here. Okay. So you see what it has done: 1, 2, 3, and 3 is common between them. So intersection between A and B is 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is the union of A and B, a set that contains all the elements from A and B. Okay, that is called as union. If I talk about intersection, so intersection will be A and B. This is called as intersection of A and B. Okay, so here we'll get 3 because 3 is the only common element between them. Suppose if I add some other common element, okay, so I'll get 3 and 10. Okay, this is intersection. And if you do difference, difference is basically I can do A minus B. So difference means those elements which are there in A but not there in B. Okay, so 1 and 2. 1 and 2 are those elements in A which are not there in B. This is called as difference. There is also another way of writing this. I think we can do A difference B. This also gives the same result. You can use both of them. Okay. Then we have symmetric difference. I think somewhere here we saw symmetric difference. Difference update is there. Symmetric difference and symmetric difference update. So let us look at what is symmetric difference. So what happens in symmetric difference is it returns a set with elements present in either of the sets, but not both. Okay. Elements which are present in either one of them. Either it is present in A or it is present in B, but it is not present in both of them. Okay. So let us see what it is. So it is A caret and then B. Okay. So I'm getting 1, 2, 4 and 5. So 1, 2, 4 and 5 are those elements which are either present in A or present in B. Okay. So 2 is only present in A, 4 is only present in B. So this is a symmetric difference. So we looked at difference and symmetric difference. Let us also talk about what is difference update and symmetric difference update. So difference update basically is the same as difference, except it will actually make the change in the set from which we are taking a difference. So let us just see that as an example. I'll take A and B. Okay. Now if I do A dot symmetric difference update B, okay. So and then we look at A, you see what happens. Whatever was the symmetric difference, the same thing has been applied to A. A is taking now the symmetric difference between A and B. Okay. Or if we do difference update, suppose, let me take this again. And if I do A dot difference update. So remember what was the difference? The difference was 1 and 2. Okay. Because 1 and 2 are the elements in A which is not there in B. So if I do A dot difference update B, and then if I do A, you see I'm getting 1 and 2. So whatever was the result of A difference B, same thing if we are making a, if the same value is assigned to A, then that becomes a difference update. I hope you got the difference here. So difference discard, we checked intersection, and similarly intersection update also will be where whatever the intersection between A and B, if I do A dot intersection update B, what was the intersection between A and B? 3 and 10. Okay. So A will take the value of 3 and 10. Let us see. Okay. So that is intersection update. It is intersection. At the same time, it is also updating the value on the set from which we are taking the intersection or difference or symmetric difference. So here I think we have covered discard, intersection, intersection update, disjoint and is subset, is superset. These three things we need to see just quickly. And pop remove symmetric difference. I think we checked all of them. Okay, cool. So let us come down here and let us discuss these three. So is subset basically means, like, suppose I create a set section A, okay, and I create Rohan, Sohan. So here section C is a subset of section A. I hope all of you understand what is subset. Okay, so if I check section A dot subset, sorry, dot is subset. Sorry, I created a list here instead of sets, so that's why it is giving me attribute errors. You see what it says, list object has no attribute subset, is subset. Why? Because instead of creating sets I created list, but fine, I'm getting an error, but if I read the error I will be able to quickly understand what was the issue. Is subset is not applicable to list, and here I have a list. So let me just quickly convert this to a set. Okay, so now I have a set, and now if I see, I'm saying that is section A subset of section B? No, it is not. But is section C a subset of section A? Okay, now I'm getting it true. Section C, Rohan and Mohan, is a subset of section A because Rohan and Mohan is present in section A also. But if I reverse it, is section A a subset of section C? What do you think? No, it's not. Okay, so this is about is subset, and then similarly is superset. If we say that section A is a superset of section B, section C, then I think that should be true. Section is superset of section C, we are getting true. Section A is actually a superset of section C. And then we have is disjoint. So let us talk about is disjoint. Is disjoint basically means if two sets don't have anything in common. Two sets don't have anything in common, then they will be called as disjoint sets. So here Amit, Mohit, Rohan, and Mohan. So section B and section C seem to be disjoint. So let us check. Section B dot is disjoint C. Okay, and we are getting true. So that is the meaning of disjoint, subset, and superset. I hope all the methods of set is clear. So let us quickly see some of the applications of sets, common applications. The concepts are same, but I'll just give you some real life situations where sets can be used. So one is that suppose you're trying to have get applications for a school, and or let us take an example of social media, right? So you very often we get matched depending on our common interests, and if you go to some kind of social media site, you need to tell what are your interests, and different people come together, and if there is something common between them, then they are matched. So let us say that we have two users, okay, like this. So user 1 is having interest in cricket, music, and cooking, and user 2 is having interest in music, photography, and cricket, and there is something common between them. Okay, and user cannot have multiple interests of music. So music can be there only once, photography can be there only once. So this is an application for a set. A user can enter cricket two times, but in terms of interests, there is no sense of having cricket two times. So we need to maintain the unique elements. So here, if I want to find out what is common between user 1 and user 2, so what I can do, user 1 interests and user, I'm taking an intersection between them. Okay, user 2 interests. Okay, so cricket and music, so they have two elements which are common between them. Or if I want to check whether they have something in common or not, so I'll just do user 1 dot interest dot is disjoint, and I will say user 2 dot user 2 interests, and if I'm getting a false, that means they are not disjoint, which means there is something in common between them. Okay, and you can also see if you want to have like for example some kind of cart, some kind of shopping website if you're making, and you don't want to have duplicate items in the cart, there also you can use sets. Or if you want to have, if you have some text, okay, um, and you don't want to have duplicate words in the same sentence, so you can split them by words and make it into a set so that you don't have duplicate items. Or common people, so one example is common people who can attend some events. So maybe you say event 1 has some people, uh, okay, so event 1, event 2, these are the people, and I want to find out which are the people who were common between the two events. So you get the drill, I think, between how the sets will be used in what situation. So try it out. There's not much to this than what we have discussed. Keep in mind, what you need to remember is that set will only contain unique elements. So anywhere if you have an application where you need to only have unique elements, where data can come with duplicates but you need to maintain only unique elements, in that situation we will have sets. Okay, and we'll do some practice on this where we will combine all these data structures along with some other concepts. For now, I think this is it. In the next video, let us discuss about strings. So strings are very similar to lists, believe it or not. A lot of concept of list will be applied to strings, and strings are also a collection. Strings are also a collection in Python. So in the next video we'll discuss in detail about strings, and that is very very important because working with strings is key when you are learning about machine learning, or when you're learning about NLP. You need to pay a lot of attention and learn nicely about string handling in Python. Okay, so we are going to do that in the next video. For now, this is it. See you in the next video. Thank you.